Ultra-processed foods are not merely convenient or tasty. They are carefully engineered to maximize consumption, exploiting the body's biological and psychological systems in ways that make overeating almost inevitable. Unlike whole or minimally processed foods, which require chewing, digestion, and slower absorption, ultra-processed foods are designed to manipulate energy density, texture, flavor, and consumption speed, effectively overriding natural satiety mechanisms. This strategy is not accidental. It is a product of decades of food science research focused on creating products that deliver maximum pleasure with minimal effort, all while encouraging repeated and excessive intake. The implications for public health are profound, particularly among children, adolescents, and young adults whose developing brains and metabolisms are highly sensitive to reward-driven food cues. Energy density is central to this strategy. Ultra-processed foods often combine refined carbohydrates, industrial fats, and added sugars in ratios that maximize caloric content without increasing volume. A small portion of a candy bar, packaged snack, or fast food item can deliver hundreds of calories, providing a concentrated energy load that the body is ill-equipped to regulate effectively. Because satiety cues are largely volume and nutrient-driven, these dense foods fail to trigger the physiological signals that normally limit intake. Over time, repeated consumption teaches the brain that pleasure and energy come from small quantities of intensely flavored, high-calorie foods, reinforcing a preference for energy-dense options over more satisfying, nutrient-rich alternatives. Texture is another key lever in driving overconsumption. UPFs are engineered to melt in the mouth, provide crispness without effort, or deliver creamy, smooth, and homogeneous sensations that minimize chewing and prolong sensory enjoyment. These optimized textures reduce the time it takes to eat a given amount of calories, speeding consumption and limiting the opportunity for satiety signals to register. Studies show that faster eating rates are associated with increased meal size, higher post-meal blood sugar, and impaired appetite regulation. By removing the natural breaks imposed by the need to chew, digest, and process food, ultra-processed products allow individuals to consume far more calories than they realized before feeling full. Flavors are meticulously manipulated to heighten reward and encourage repeat intake. Combinations of sugar, salt, and fat are designed to produce peak pleasure signals in the brain's dopaminergic system, while flavor enhancers, artificial sweeteners, and chemical additives amplify intensity. Complex, layered flavors, such as those in snack mixes, flavored chips, or confectionery, create what researchers call hyperpalatable experiences that the brain interprets as highly valuable, overriding internal cues for satiety. Once the brain becomes accustomed to these engineered flavor profiles, ordinary foods begin to taste bland or unsatisfying, further biasing eating behavior toward ultra-processed options. Speed of consumption is another critical factor. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be easy to eat quickly, bite-sized, pre-portioned, or fully cooked, allowing continuous ingestion with minimal interruption. The body's satiety hormones, including leptin, GLP-1, and peptide YY, respond gradually, and when calories are delivered rapidly, the hormonal feedback lags behind, leading to overconsumption. This is compounded by packaging and portion cues. Individually wrapped items, resealable bags, and snack-sized servings encourage repeated consumption throughout the day, creating a near-constant influx of energy that the body interprets as normal but is far above physiological need. The consequences are particularly concerning for young people. Children and adolescents are more sensitive to reward-based cues, more prone to impulsive decision-making, and less able to regulate their food intake under high-stimulation conditions. Exposure to engineered UPFs during these critical developmental periods can recalibrate taste preferences, reward pathways, and appetite regulation in ways that persist into adulthood. Overconsumption becomes not merely a matter of occasional indulgence, but a habitual pattern, deeply embedded in neurological and metabolic systems. Metabolic impacts are stark. Repeated overconsumption of energy-dense UPFs contributes to excess fat accumulation, insulin resistance, and systemic inflammation, even in the absence of intentional overeating. By undermining natural satiety and promoting rapid ingestion of high-calorie foods, UPFs encourage a metabolic environment favoring storage rather than energy expenditure. This metabolic dysregulation is compounded by the low nutrient density of these products. Vitamins, minerals, fiber, and protein are often insufficient, impairing glucose regulation, energy metabolism, and long-term health resilience. The warning is urgent. The engineering behind ultra-processed foods is deliberate, sophisticated, and optimized to exploit biological vulnerabilities. These products are designed to maximize consumption, override satiety signals, and condition long-term preferences for hyperpalatable, energy-dense foods. Individuals are not merely overeating by choice. They are responding to a system that has been meticulously calibrated to encourage excess. Without awareness, regulation, and structural intervention, populations, especially young people, face a future in which obesity, metabolic disease, and disrupted appetite regulation are not exceptions, but predictable outcomes of engineered diets. The hidden danger is that what seems like convenience and pleasure is, in fact, a biochemical and psychological trap, priming the body to overconsume from the very first bite.